Howdy everybody, how's it going, okay? We're gonna go right for it. Everybody come on up a little bit. Let's have like an actual time here as friends and as new friends and as old friends. I'm gonna sing into the mic sometimes, and then some of the times I'm just gonna play on the floor, and we're just gonna like do a little switchy, okay? I wanna tell a story. I just wanna say first thanks to Roboto. Thanks for Brett. For putting the show on. Thank you so very much. Took Control for playing. You blew my mind. It was super duper good. I really honestly liked it. And that is the truth. And also thanks to Bad Moves too, all the way from Washington, D.C. I've known David Combs for a very long time as a fan of the music that they make. And now I get to be here and play another show, which is super duper sick. So let's just do all of a round of applause for all of our friends. And for DIY art spaces and for clean bathrooms. That's the best. It doesn't go without effort. It doesn't go without effort to make things that work off the grid. It doesn't go without effort for things to work without things like big, huge entities like Live Nation and Ticketmaster and things like that. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thankless hours of people working behind the scenes, like Brett, who's been putting on shows forever to make it happen. So I just want to say it's a really big deal, and it's a political move too, to say that we can create our own thing that's outside of that evil apparatus that you've created. This is a protest song. This song is about a new restaurant chain that's getting brought right here to Pittsburgh. I've grown up here my entire life, lived in Hazelwood, so listen, I know about Pittsburgh, believe me. And there's this new restaurant chain that's popping up everywhere. They got some in Washington, D.C., they got some in Lancaster, where I live now, Philadelphia, they got in Altoona, they got them in Johnstown, they got them in Erie, they got them over there. They got them down in Wheeling, West Virginia, can you even believe it? And they're popping up everywhere. They're called a guilt buffet. And the restaurant serves this gray flavored meat like you've never seen before in your entire life. And have you ever gone to your Aunt Renee's house for like a holiday and she says, when are you gonna get a real job and grow up? When are you gonna go ahead and do something with your life? And that shame and that guilt that you feel from Aunt Renee, they've been able to take it and they make it into a seasoning and they flavor all their food. It's called the guilt buffet. It's all you can eat. It's like going to the Golden Corral on Christmas Day with people who aren't your family. It's as bad as it can be, and there's coupons for it, and it's an absolute disaster. Anyhow, they contacted me after we got done playing those big arena shows with My Chemical Romance. No big deal. They asked me to write a fucking song for their restaurant, so I did. This song is called Guilt Buffet. It's a fucking protest song for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 2, 3, 4. Everybody's looking for someone else to change, and looking for someone like them to take a little blame. You can be a different person or start again today, but at the guilt buffet, everyone pays. Isn't it strange how it all works out? All works out that way. The guilt buffet is open like 7 days a week. There's always 2 for 1 there, and the kids can eat for free. Every time you leave there, you swear it off for good, but it's hard to say no when there's a guilt buffet open. Take your wife and kids. It's time for guilt buffet. Guilt buffet again. And then there's this solo part. I was listening to a lot of the Bloodhound Gang whenever I wrote this song. So like, the chorus goes like this. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. We don't have no water, na 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 na. It's in Braddock. And it was a cult type of a church situation where they were speaking in tongues and rolling around on the floor and fake healings and the whole bit. And they're still there. They're still alive and kicking, believe it or not. And I think about what it means to be raised that way. And I think about what it means to have faith now as a grown-up. And what it means to make a small child afraid of things like hell and the devil and sin. What that does to you. And how it robs you from the opportunity to make your own decisions or know what you actually want when you're afraid of everything else. Anyhow, this is a protest song about some shitty church in Braddock. It's about going to church with your mom on Sunday when she asks you to, even when you're 40. You know, sometimes when you come home on the weekend and mom says we're going to church, you know what you do? You shut the fuck up and you go to church with your mom. And you pray to a God you don't even think is even remotely possibly alive. This song is called Guilt Buffet. Cool. You'll never get it right if you give up now. Can you hear everything okay? The voice and the guitar? Maybe we'll just do it like this. Cool. Do this just a little bit. You'll never get it right if you give up now. You eat it all up just to shit it all out. Half-price golden calf at the Golden Corral. EpiPens and honeybees for all. Potato sack, rat race, last place pays for all. It's always up to you what you're gonna take. Will you stay miserable because you're stuck in one place? Goddamn Marianne, I'm so amazed by your grace. There's always a gig cleaning up someone else's hurt. And I've been thinking too much about going back to church. A faith healer dealing pregnancy tests. Stockholm Syndrome, citizens arrest. I've been thinking too much about giving into it. Blind faith. Let the Spirit move you like a cattle prod. Locker room talk, the perverted word of God. So take it from a thief on the right side of Christ. Hey! Who prayed for salvation on that dark and stormy night. What made you feel you did something wrong? Are you ashamed to be seen by your kids? Having to pay for someone else's sins. A still small voice that's too big to fail's got me feeling goosebumps like the Bible in Braille. I'm finally sure that there's nothing more than this. A still small voice that's too big to fail has got me feeling goosebumps like the Bible in Braille. I'm finally sure that there's nothing after this. But blind faith. But blind faith. Blind faith. Thank you very much. So I'm in the car about 6 months ago, and Lindsay and I are driving around town in Lancaster, going from spot to spot as we do. Go to the dog park, go get a coffee, have a sit. And we were having like a day off, and she says, I've been listening to this brand new band that I want to put you on to. And I said, oh shit, I think that's something new. And she says, they're a band from Washington, D.C. called Bad Moves. I said, you don't say, do you? So I played it off for maybe a song or two, and I said, I know this band, of course. I know David Guns and his music. This is great. I'm glad that you really, really like it. A couple months go past, and I get a call. I get a mess. Me and Brad are messages on the internet, and I get asked to come and play this show. And I go to Lindsay. And I said, "You're never gonna guess what happened to me today. I'm gonna go to Pittsburgh on our weekend away when we're supposed to be making pickles. I'll talk about the pickles later. I'm super fucking sorry about that, y'all. You know what the problem with organic farmers is? No, I'm just kidding. So, hey, you're never going to guess. I'm going to go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, our hometown, and I'm going to play with Bad Moose from Washington, D.C. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even believe it. This is the best ever. I love you, and I can't wait to see you play solo acoustic because I think you're the best. But I also love Bad Moose from Washington, D.C., and they're going to play the DIY club in Pittsburgh that we love so very much. This is going to be great. She's super, super stoked to be here. 2 days ago, she gets a phone call from her friend whose uncle is a janitor at Heinz Field and says, I got $40 Taylor Swift tickets. Guess what Lindsay's at? You can't even fucking park your car down there for $40. And she got tickets to go, and she's right there. She's right on the side. She's catching sweat. She caught a couple spits on it, too. She's a Swiftie. Swiftie. We listen to it a bunch. I know all the songs. I know all the verses. I know all the little Easter eggs that are in there. I actually really, really do like Taylor Swift, and I'm stoked that she's there. But I did say that I would publicly shame her at the Sometimes you get married, and that's just what you do. It's as passive-aggressive as you can get. And next time she comes here, everyone just give her the side eye. Not for real, but just like as a little bit of shade, like, oh, we were all there sweating together, smelling like Spack Brothers pizza, and where the fuck were you at? Okay, all right, that's enough. Anyhow, this song is kind of about listening to Taylor Swift. This song's called Crazy. It's a protest song. I feel crazy half the time, the other half I wanna die. It's harder to go outside when all you wanna do is cry. My old friends don't call me likely because they're busy, but in my mind it's not easy to believe. I feel crazy half the time. I feel crazy half the time. I feel crazy half the time. Everyone tells me I'm fine. I feel crazy half the time. Okay. I cut my face with a piece of glass so I wouldn't have to go to church. I've done more drugs than the Rolling Stones, and I forget why I'm even here. What's the point in anything if everything means nothing? I'm all alone in a crowded room. Nothing's real, nothing's good, and you wanna die but you don't know how to tell your mom you don't believe in God. I'm older now than I was then, but all I want is to be born again. And I'm gonna get there, and you are too. We don't have much longer. There's only so much time that we have before the earth gets to be too hot, and it's 1.5 degrees every year, and then the soil will become too acidic, and then common people won't have a chance to grow our own food anymore. And then we don't have much time left on this planet. 2040 at the absolute peak of it, if we're lucky as human beings who like to grow their own food. I feel crazy half the time. I feel crazy half the time. I feel crazy half the time. Everyone tells me I'm fucking fine. Nah. I feel crazy all the time. Thank you very much. Well, of do my best to never second guess that from here on out, all these songs are about how we are gonna weather this storm together. And I'm still alive, and I have survived. And I could stand up tall with pride to say that I haven't tried suicide in 10 long years. That's not to say that I don't have bad days, that I don't curse God's name or peer beside my own face. I just found a better place where I can be myself all by myself. There's room for you, buddy, if you choose to smile and say fuck you to those Monday blues and throw away what you hold on to if it brings you down. Tell the truth, what are you gonna do until you turn 92? Doing what someone tells you to, or standing up against all of the bullshit. I might be poor, well that's for sure, but I'll endure and I'll stay out on tour. And I lied to you when I said that I don't sing about politics anymore. You want to hear a brand new song? Yeah! So I'm writing these little teeny commercials for a record called Songs About People That I Know. And these are songs about people that I know and things that I've had a chance, very specific encounters that I had with very specific people in my life. And it's like a choose your own adventure. You don't know who I'm talking about. And there's this one guy, you'll find out in like song 4 or 5, who's an asshole. He's my brother's brother-in-law, and he shows up to all the parties, and he's just the bummer of the party. Just always talking shit, just to give you like a little frame of reference, 3 years ago when I haven't been back there for Christmas since, we went there and me and my brother were sitting there just like having just like a Ritz cracker with like a cheese on it and then like a pepperoni on top of it. Like Christmas food, you know what I'm talking about? And we're sitting there and we're having it and he goes, "Alpha male's here on Christmas morning." Like pounded on the wall like this, like, "Alpha male's here." And I was like, right on. So I wrote a song about him. I'm not going to play it tonight because it's not finished. But it's super. When he hears it, he's going to know that it's good. There's no chance he's not going to know. And I'm not a real petty person. Most of the time. But this is a song. This song's called Cincinnati Shoes, and it's just a commercial. It's about 1.5 minutes long, and there's no bridge, and there's no chorus. It's just a streaming line of consciousness about a very specific encounter that I had when we, for 4 years, I had a chance to be in a band called the Homeless Gospel Choir with 5 of my best friends ever, and we made 2 amazing records, and we traveled all over the place, and we're not doing that anymore. Megan and Moore are doing some other band shit. They're doing that stuff with mimes, and they want to tour Screaming Females. And Matt's in the Beagle Club, and the Beagle Club is working on new songs, and that's super duper sick. And Craig is going to learn how to be a carpenter, and he went down to Louisiana to learn how to make furniture and boxes and stuff. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that time that we had a chance to spend together and make super loud, weird punk records together. And I'm happy to say that this is the second show back of me playing solo acoustic again for the first time in quite some time, and I really, really do enjoy it. So thank you guys for being kind. So, we got some free drugs on tour, and they came in a candy bar, and they were like these mushroom candies. And we toured a whole bunch, and the candies melted. And what is supposed to be 10 pieces melted into 3, and we're like, fuck it, we'll take them anyway. And we did. And this is a song about that night. I have an ankle that still cracks when I walk on it in the morning from this very specific thing. This song is called Cincinnati Ankle. It's about my dear friend Megan Schroer, who she's always going to be in the homeless gospel choir. It's just a solo thing again for a while. Okay. Before you started dating the guitar guy from Vacation, when you lived in an artist's third floor apartment, I took my van for a weekend away to prove that I still had friends. The weed candy melted into one monster piece, but we rolled the dice and ate it anyway. We lost our minds almost immediately. The fire department took you to the ER. Maura was there so you didn't feel lonely. I probably should have went along too, but my shoddy insurance surely would have billed me. The shoes I was wearing cut a hole in my heel. I was still pretty stoned, no charge on my phone. Speed walking along the highway at night with no headlights on the road. The entire way back home. Oh, oh, that's Cincinnati Ankle. Thanks for listening. Well, they said to give up and to grow up, that my songs make me want to throw up, that I'm not original or catchy or clever. No thanks, baby. They said my guitar would sound better at the bottom of the Ohio River, and that I should get a job at the Route 51 Kmart. It's not there anymore. Sometimes I feel like I agree with my old friends that don't call me anymore to hang out or catch up or go drink beer. And maybe I am not the same. Thank God that I am not the same, and I hope to be weirder than this time next year. Woo! Friends like that, who needs friends when you have seasonal depression? In Western Pennsylvania or anywhere, you're afraid to just be yourself. Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck here, trapped in the wrong gear, like an empty pack of cigarettes, like an endless bill called college debt. And I don't know when I first started feeling so alone, like how everyone else has a place and I simply don't. And sometimes you wake up in your 40s, take a look around. Nope. Sometimes I'm saying 30s. That's how I wrote it, and I'm sticking there. I don't care how old I get. Sometimes you wake up in your 30s, take a look around, and realize that you're lucky not to be a ghost in a ghost town with friends like that. Who needs friends when you have seasonal depression? In Western Pennsylvania or anywhere, you're afraid to just be yourself. Sometimes I think that I'll die here, and sometimes that's all right. Sometimes those words haunt me and cut me like a butter knife. And if your friends are assholes, then you're better off alone. Or you can go make new friends at the retirement home. Or you can move to Hazelwood and I will be your friend. And we can make a record in our brand new punk rock band in Lancaster now. y'all. Cool. Happy birthday, Brett. You're the best.
Yeah.
How many good bangers have we had here? So many. So many good shows in our time together as friends. And not just here, but I mean, here specifically, but just in so many, dozens all together. And playing here with Pat and with Ramshock and Glory and having just actual, real community with people and creating a space for people to feel welcome and for them to create art and to express themselves artistically. It's just super duper important. I love Roboto from the bottom of my heart. And it's just a wonderful place to come here. Cool. I'm gonna sing a couple. If there's a song that you want me to play that I know how to play, I will play it. If you ask for a song that I don't know how to play, I will fudge it until I make 2 mistakes. The first mistake, I'll be like, okay, I'll figure it out. And then if I make the second mistake, then I'll be like, okay, we're gonna put that song away for a while, and we're not gonna play it. This song is called Cow People, and it's about that. It's about being a cow person, just you and me. You know what I mean? Just 2 cow people. And sometimes I do get tired and burdened down by this thing called modern life. And I think, wouldn't it just be nice to just have like a field and have, you know, a couple acres, and I'll just grow my own vegetables and I'll can them and I'll just live off of it, and I'll have some solar panels and I'll dig my own well and have like this anarcho egalitarian agrarian commune where people could come and build those, like, you know, little what are they called? The railroad carts that you turn into the house that have the light, the solar panels on them. You can build those on there, and then like you only have to work like 16 hours a week, or, you know, whatever. Anyhow, I have thoughts about that all the time. I'll probably just continue to live in the city and you know, be frustrated, but I do think about it sometimes. And this song's about that. It's called Cow People, and I'm a cow person, and you're a cow person, and together we get to be cow people. And maybe one day we'll figure out. We'll figure it out. Okay. It's a protest song. How long has it felt like everything is changing, and it's hard to know if you can take a break? Fill up your lungs with a breath of fresh air, while the fresh air is still free to take. I ain't a train hopper, I never was. It just sounded so much better than riding on the bus. I used to talk to Jesus on a one-way phone line, but I got tired of pretending I wasn't wasting my time. Glory, hallelujah, are you having fun yet? Are you too busy pretending like we never met? I've done some pretending, oh, of my own. That's why us cow people sing our songs all alone. The gophers in the city eat just like a king, 'cause you can't shoot your rifle under the city's wing. Oh, there ain't no jobs coming back to these friendly shores, 'cause no one pays full price when you can get half off or more. Glory, hallelujah, have you gotten your fill? We can fix any problem as long as you foot the bill. Oh, just don't show your soft side, whatever you do, 'cause they'll nail you to a cross called we're tired of you, and you wish that you were better at playing guitar. But it's hard to sit still the older I get, and you don't want to practice, get stoned instead. Huh. Facts. Saddest songs are sadder once the singer is dead. Glory, hallelujah, I'm biding my time and trying to be honest about my slice of life. Have you ever wanted something different than you got? Then don't wait for no one when you got a clear shot. It's hard to think of something that's shiny and new when everything's a sales pitch and pointed at you. Oh, don't you dare compare yourself to anyone but you. I might not know what's coming, but that's nothing new. I'm going to try to remember this song. That song references a song from the record earlier called Don't Compare, which I haven't played acoustic in a super long time, but I'm going to try to do it now. I'm fed up with your analog Twitter feed. I'm fed up with your analog Twitter feed. If I unfollow you, will you forget all about me? Like making art with a paintbrush and all the strokes that go unnoticed. Or when your friends pretend they're joking, even though they know that your heart is broken. Don't you dare compare yourself to anyone but you. Don't you dare compare yourself to anyone but I'm fed up. I'm fed up. Forgetting all the things that made you special, and you entertain the notion that you should have turned out normal so the people in your office won't think you're such a fuck up, even though you feel much better than you ever can remember. You're haunted by that memory, being seen by somebody who knew the kid you used to be when you were still in high school. You hide behind a coat rack in a cafe during summer, pretend to be invisible like the Holy Spirit. Just like the Holy Spirit. You know your greatest fear is that you'll always be too something for someone else to love. The internet only shows you things that it wants you to want. But after these commercials, the network must conclude that due to lack of revenue, they're shutting down Fox News. And I mean, it's acoustic now, but when the band's fucking and they're fucking jamming guitars into the ceiling and spitting in people's faces. Don't you dare compare yourself to anyone but you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up. Thanks, y'all. What time is it? Can somebody give me the time?
10:15.
Okay, cool. I'm going to play 2 more songs, and that's going to be it. We played this. I know I said it before kind of as a joke, but it's not a joke. We did play stadiums last year with My Chemical Romance, and we ordered a whole fucking bunch of t-shirts for the stadium tour of us being an arena band, and it looks like Kiss, but it's a cartoon. And we ordered so many of them, but we didn't sell them all out of the show, so I have some free ones on the table. If you guys want to grab like arena band t-shirts, there's sizes for everybody. Help yourself. If you want to make a donation to the Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, instead of giving me any money, that would be fucking sick. Just go ahead and do it. Cool, okay. I'm going to do 2 more songs, and then that's going to be that for me. Thank you very much. My name is Derek Zanetti. I do live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but I did live in Pittsburgh for a super duper long time. I recognize most of your faces, even with the masks on. Thanks for doing that, too. This song's called Normal, and it's about you fucking weirdos that are here tonight. Me too. It doesn't ever get old. It never gets old for me to have friends. It's a super important thing that you're going to need to do for the rest of your life. And there are some of us who are just weird.
Yeah.
and we need to find other weird friends to make us feel okay. And I do think that punk rock has no age limit. I think if you're 12 years old and you belong here, you should be here. And if you're 112 years old and you belong here, you should be here. And we should offer and extend kindness to especially people who don't look like you and people that aren't from where you're from. And what it can be, and the beauty that it can be. And sometimes I think about punk rock, and I do think about that farm, and I do think about that place for people to go, and we don't have to work, we don't have to worry about taxes and bosses and jobs and rent and all this other stuff. So sometimes I do think that that's what punk rock is, and then sometimes I do think that this is what punk rock is, and then sometimes I do think that just like riding on the train is what punk rock is, and then sometimes I think about, fasting for 3 days, and that could be punk rock, and not buying Coca-Cola or smoking cigarettes, and this is a protest song. 1994, I felt so insecure, growing in my hometown like a cancer. Something so unsure was knocking at my door. 11 years old then, and it was time to answer. I found my escape in that Green Day tape. When the songs would end, we'd just rewind them. Kids with purple hair were out there somewhere, and I would be goddamn if I did find them. Up until that time, I had no peace of mind. I was stuck inside of something I didn't sign up for. So then I met this kid with dreads, and I can't forget what he said when I told him I didn't want to feel strange anymore. You're never gonna be normal. You're never gonna be normal. You're never gonna be normal, 'cause you're a punk. Started going to shows and taping songs off the radio, and then I figured out the radio was bullshit. Woo! And I picked up a guitar. It was an Ovation, and my friend Jim gave it to me. It was cracked in the back. It cost like $30. It was shitty. I picked up a guitar and I played it with my heart. And I got inside my car and I started driving. "20 years and change. Well, this is more than just a phase. I found something that I could believe in when things are getting tough and I feel like giving up. I remember what my one friend said to me, and this is what he said: you're never gonna be normal. You're never gonna be normal. You're never gonna be normal, 'cause you're a punk. You're never gonna be normal. Thank you. Bad moves. It's killer good. Tilt control. Killer good. Please go check out Echo Astral on your own time. Go ahead and put them on a Spotify playlist. Go ahead and put them on a Bandcamp. You can, on Bandcamp Fridays, I don't know, does anybody here use Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Cool. If you're a Bandcamp user, There's Bandcamp Fridays, which means all the money that you would buy a record for goes directly to the band, and it's super duper cool. On Bandcamp Fridays, when you get a lick, you go beep, 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 and they let you know that someone likes you. So go ahead and do that. Cool. Again, this is the best. I'm going to play one more song. This song is called Election Season, and this is off the brand new record called Fourth Dimension Intervention that came out on Don Giovanni Records just last year. Label mates with bad moves. No big whoop. And Tenement, and there's so many other good bands on that label too. When I thought about when it all happened, I said, man, this is super duper cool. Check out Don Giovanni Records. If you like the Ergs, Mike Yerg's band is putting out a bunch of cool shit on there too. Laura Stevenson has a great, amazing new record out on that label. And I don't know if y'all heard the new Screaming Females record, but it is on the fucking radio, y'all, like proper radio. It's sick. Okay. Yeah. This song is called Election Season, and it's kind of a bummer. But glass half empty, glass half full type of a situation, you know what I mean? LeVar used to say, the more you know, and I do believe it to be good. Cool. Go get yourself a free t-shirt. Please do it. I don't want to take any of those home at the end of the night. Even if it's not your size, make a friend who's bigger than you. There's some big ones out there. Yeah. Cool. Thank you guys. I love you very much. Thanks for being here. There's always gonna be enough to do until your back breaks, until your face turns blue. Oh, make sure that you look hungry when they're shoveling your soup. The wind in your hair won't always be there, and the old man holding up traffic is you in 30 years. Oh, I heard you're on a diet so you can look less full of shit. I can't believe that you spent June so quiet. California dreaming, easy street. All the things that I claim to be special to me are up for sale at record deals. The price so low, it's like a dream. Election season starts about now, and right after it ends, my head it spins and spins and spins and spins around. And as long as there's no end in sight, they'll be making up a bed for you so you can get some peace of mind tonight. Bless you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Go buy a Bad News t-shirt. Take the money and go buy a Bad News t-shirt.